Listen carefully. You have been running, hustling, pushing, sacrificing, sometimes wondering if it was all for nothing. Tonight, God speaks differently. Not in whispers that you ignore. Not in signs you misinterpret. He speaks directly to your situation. He says, "Stop working so hard for nothing, your harvest is here." Do you feel that weight of those words? That is the shift beginning. Because for months, maybe years, you've been measuring effort against outcome. And the scale always tipped against you. You've carried small wins like trophies that barely fill your hand, while your faith felt empty. But listen closer. This is not a random declaration. This is a timeline shift. God is turning small pennies into riches, tears into joy, and silent prayers into visible results. You may have noticed subtle changes already. Little opportunities appearing out of nowhere. People showing up unexpectedly. Conversations that seem ordinary, suddenly life-altering. This is how God moves quietly before the storm of blessings arrives. The thing is, the harvest doesn't always look like you imagined. It rarely does. It may arrive in ways that seem humble at first. A message, a door, a connection. A small increase that feels like a drop. Yet that drop contains a river waiting to flow. Here's what many miss. Your harvest is not proportional to yesterday's effort. It is proportional to your patience, your faith, and your alignment with God's timing. All the tears, all the late nights, all the anxiety, they were calibration. Tonight, God is flipping the balance. He is converting every misstep into experience. Every disappointment into preparation. Every delay into strategy. Your past struggle is being redeemed silently. And the rich part? This harvest is permanent, not temporary. It does not demand frantic hustle anymore. It asks only for your receptivity. Stop trying to manufacture results. Stop burning yourself out with panic. Stop comparing your pace with others. God is preparing a harvest that your own effort alone could not create. And it will surprise you in magnitude and timing. Tonight, your small contributions are being multiplied. The moments you thought were wasted are compounding. The tears you cried are fertilizing your breakthrough. The universe is rearranging itself on your behalf. And if you can hear this right now, know this. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. All the work, all the sacrifice, all the waiting, they were for this. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. You cannot miss the next chapter. Comment this specific word. Harvest. Reason. Because recognizing what is coming ensures you don't miss the first fruits of God's multiplication. Type part 2 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal why your patience alone is now the key to unlocking sudden abundance. And how God transforms small beginnings into unstoppable prosperity. Part 2, the night your patience turns into riches, why small efforts suddenly multiply. Do not scroll past this. You have been patient. Not just with your work, but with life itself. With promises that seemed empty. With doors that opened slowly or not at all. With situations you thought would never change. Tonight, God is honoring that patience in a way you will not ignore. Because patience is no longer passive. It is active. It is the quiet engine behind your multiplication. Every late night, every sacrifice, every tear that fell silently. They are now being converted into power you can see. Here is the secret most people never understand. God does not multiply frantic efforts. He multiplies faithful, measured persistence. Your small efforts, your consistent daily work, even when it felt like it went unnoticed, have been quietly growing under His hand. This is the moment where pennies start transforming into riches. And riches are not always obvious at first. They may show up as opportunity. They may show up as clarity. They may show up as people coming into your life at exactly the right time. Do not dismiss these signs. They are the early fruits of your harvest. Many fail here. They rush. They panic. They overreach. They take the small increase and try to turn it into a fortune too soon. God is teaching you timing. Because if you harvest too early, the crop cannot sustain you. If you rush your breakthrough, you lose the compounding effect. Tonight, He is recalibrating your patience into power. Your tears are becoming testimony. Your hard work is becoming legacy. Your perseverance is becoming authority. And the most mysterious part? You won't always see it immediately. Sometimes the first sign is subtle. A conversation that shifts everything. An opportunity that seems small but multiplies in weeks. A connection you overlooked suddenly opening doors you never imagined. God is orchestrating all of it silently. Quietly. Powerfully. And here is the key. Do not sabotage this by rushing. Do not question the invisible work. Do not underestimate the small blessings, they are the blueprint for the large ones. Tonight, your harvest begins in ways you cannot control but must trust. Your small pennies are turning into riches. Your tears are transforming into joy. Your consistent patience is becoming unstoppable momentum. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next revelation. Comment this specific word. Multiplication. Reason. Because understanding that God multiplies your faithfulness protects your breakthrough from distraction. Type part 3 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how God aligns the people, places, and resources around you. So your harvest feels inevitable, unstoppable, and undeniable. Part 3, the alignment of your harvest, why people, places, and opportunities begin to fall into place. Stop for a moment. Everything you have done, every tear, every effort, every sleepless night. They were never wasted. Tonight, God is activating alignment. This is the stage where your harvest is no longer a possibility. It is no longer a hope. It is starting to arrange itself. You may not see the whole picture yet, but the pieces are moving. People you needed to meet will appear. Doors you never imagined will open. Opportunities that felt out of reach are now positioning themselves exactly where they belong. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is God's timing. Every relationship that matters is being shifted. Every connection that drains is being moved aside. Every path that was blocked is now quietly cleared. Do not underestimate the invisible mechanics of divine alignment. Most breakthroughs fail because people try to force movement before everything is in place. Tonight, God is correcting that. Notice how things feel different. How conversations flow more smoothly. How certain tasks no longer feel heavy. That is the energy of alignment at work. Your harvest is no longer dependent solely on effort. It is now being supported by a system that God is arranging. Your small pennies are multiplying because God is positioning the resources, the people, and the timing to maximize their impact. Even your joy, your sense of peace, and your confidence are being aligned. This is crucial. If your mind, your emotions, and your actions are aligned with God's timing, your harvest becomes unstoppable. It begins to compound naturally. Here is what most people miss. Harvest alignment requires patience and trust. It is invisible. It feels quiet. It feels slow. And yet it is the most powerful force you will ever encounter. Do not try to force it. Do not doubt it. Do not interrupt the invisible orchestration. God is taking care of the timing, the connections, and the pathways. Your role is to remain faithful, observant, and ready to receive. Tonight, your small efforts begin to meet perfect conditions. Your tears meet healing. Your pennies meet multiplication. Your faith meets confirmation. This is the moment when your harvest stops being random and starts being deliberate. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Every chapter builds the next layer of protection and revelation. Comment this specific word. Alignment. Reason. Because recognizing God's orchestration allows you to move with His timing instead of against it. Type part 4 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how your harvest is prepared to overflow unexpectedly, and why the increase you feel now is just the beginning of a permanent shift. Part 4, the overflow is coming, why your harvest will surprise you and multiply beyond expectation. Stop scrolling. This chapter is not about small increments. It is about overflow. It is about abundance arriving in ways you could not plan, imagine, or control. God is moving beyond what you can see. Tonight, He is taking your small pennies and multiplying them in ways that will shock your sense of possibility. The seeds you planted, sometimes reluctantly, sometimes with tears, are now ready to bear fruit beyond calculation. Here is the truth most people do not understand. Overflow does not happen through hustle alone. It happens through divine orchestration. Through faith that remains steady when nothing seems to move. Through patience that refuses to panic. Notice this. The things you feared would never grow are starting to expand. The things you doubted would never multiply are now accelerating. The things you overlooked, ignored, or deemed insignificant are now carrying the largest weight. This is the pattern of divine multiplication. Your pennies, your efforts, your consistency, they are compounding quietly. Your tears, your sacrifices, your late nights, they are being redeemed exponentially. And here's the mystery. Sometimes the first signs of overflow feel like accidents. A sudden call, a surprising payment, an unexpected opportunity. Small moments that, when you track them, reveal the blueprint of God's multiplication. Do not underestimate the subtle. God works through the invisible before the visible appears. The second truth is this. Overflow is never accidental. It is the result of alignment, timing, and faithful persistence. It is designed to secure your future and confirm your faith. Tonight, your harvest is not just growing, it is structuring itself for sustainability. You may feel it already. A lightness in your spirit. A sense of anticipation you cannot explain. A quiet confidence that your struggles were never in vain. This is God preparing you for the sudden arrival of blessings that cannot be ignored. Many people fail here. They panic when small signs appear. They misinterpret multiplication as luck. They try to control what God is orchestrating perfectly. Do not do that. Step back, observe, and receive. Your harvest is arriving. Your pennies are multiplying. Your tears are turning into testimonies. Your joy is becoming inevitable. Here is what you must do. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next chapter, it is the key to keeping your harvest from leaking. Comment this specific word. Overflow. Reason. Because understanding that God is moving beyond calculation ensures you welcome abundance without resistance. Type part 5 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how to protect your harvest so that sudden increase becomes lasting increase. And why this moment is the beginning of unstoppable prosperity. Part 5, the Harvest Protection Plan, how to keep abundance from slipping away. Do not scroll past this. You've reached the stage where your harvest is beginning to show. Your pennies are multiplying. Your tears are turning into joy. Your small efforts are producing visible results. But here is the warning most people never hear. Blessings can come, and blessings can also leave. Not because God is withholding, but because you have not learned to protect what has been released. The truth is harsh. Many receive sudden increase and lose it quickly. Why? Because they treat it like luck, not stewardship. Tonight, God is teaching you the difference. A true harvest is earned through patience, received through faith, and maintained through obedience. Your role now is simple but critical. Do not overspend in anticipation. Do not chase validation through your increase. Do not trust opportunities that pressure you to act before you are ready. God is asking for discernment. Every new dollar, every new connection, every small sign of increase is a test. It's not a punishment. It's protection. You see, abundance without discipline is like a river without banks. It floods one moment and disappears the next. God is building your riverbanks. And the construction may feel invisible. It may feel slow. You may be tempted to believe nothing is happening. Do not believe that lie. The alignment of your harvest is happening right now. Your decisions are being clarified. Your relationships are being filtered. Your timing is being perfected. Even your mind is being trained to recognize true opportunity versus distraction. The moment you resist control, panic, and impulse, you are stepping into God's protection. Your pennies will continue multiplying. Your joy will continue expanding. Your increase will become sustainable and unstoppable. The most mysterious part? Some people around you may resist this shift. They may become uncomfortable with your calm. They may question your choices. Do not argue. Do not explain. Do not seek their approval. Their discomfort is proof that your harvest is real. God is rearranging your world quietly, deliberately, and powerfully. Every tear, every effort, every sleepless night is now being converted into structure. Your harvest is no longer temporary. It is now permanent, but only if you maintain awareness, patience, and faith. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next revelation. This is where true multiplication begins. Comment this specific word. Protection. Reason. Because understanding how to guard what God has released ensures your increase becomes lasting, not fleeting. Type part 6 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how God multiplies your harvest silently, without stress or panic. And why the increase you are about to receive will feel miraculous yet natural. Part 6, The Silent Multiplication, How God Increases Your Harvest Without Warning or Panic. Do not scroll. This chapter is critical. Many people expect God's increase to arrive loudly, through a windfall, a sudden check, or a dramatic change. But God rarely works that way. He multiplies silently. He works through unseen channels. He moves behind the scenes, arranging every detail before you notice the result. This is why your pennies, your efforts, your patience have not felt immediately rewarded. The quietness is the sign that God is multiplying. Every small increase you have seen lately, tiny wins, slight progress, subtle shifts, these are blueprints of a larger overflow. Your tears are being converted into joy quietly. Your struggles are being transformed into authority. Your discipline, your persistence, your faithfulness, they are compounding in invisible ways. Here's the thing most people miss. You cannot force this multiplication. You cannot rush it. You cannot understand it with human timing. God's harvest follows divine rhythm, not human hustle. Sometimes your money will arrive through the people around you. Sometimes it will arrive through opportunities you never expected. Sometimes it will arrive in ways that feel too small to matter, but these small signs are the engines of larger increase. Notice how life is rearranging itself. You are suddenly in the right place at the right time. Conversations happen exactly when needed. Opportunities appear when you are most prepared. This is the orchestration of silent multiplication. And here is the most important principle. God multiplies in a way that preserves your peace. He does not send blessing that brings stress, panic, or fear. He sends increase that fits within your capacity to receive. He sends expansion that aligns with your faith, your timing, and your preparation. Every penny you have now is a seed. Every effort you've made is a foundation. Every tear you cried is fertilizer. Together, these will produce a harvest so abundant that it will feel beyond your imagination. But the key is receptivity. Do not doubt. Do not panic. Do not overextend. Receive it quietly. Watch it multiply. Trust God's invisible work. This is also why some doors that seemed urgent in the past are now closing. Do not mourn them. They were distractions from your multiplication. Your harvest is arriving silently, naturally, and permanently. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not skip this next part, it will unlock the method to maintain unstoppable growth. Comment this specific word. Multiply. Reason. Because understanding God's silent work trains you to recognize blessings before they explode into abundance. Type part 7 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how God ensures your harvest keeps growing even when you stop trying, panic, or overwork yourself. And why this is the moment you realize effort alone is no longer your main source of increase. Part 7, The Effortless Harvest, Why Your Increase Now Requires Less Struggle and More Faith. Stop everything for a moment. This is the point most people fail to understand about God's harvest. Your hardest work is over. Not the work you think produced results. Not the hustle you bragged about. Not the endless worry that kept you awake at night. No. God is saying, your harvest now requires less effort and more faith. Listen carefully. The moment your pennies, your tears, and your small victories are multiplied, the system of abundance shifts. It stops being about pushing, chasing, or forcing. It starts being about receiving, trusting, and staying aligned. The same effort you gave yesterday? It's no longer what produces exponential increase. Now, your faith and your alignment are the levers. Here's the principle God wants you to see. When multiplication is ready, human struggle becomes unnecessary. Effort alone cannot sustain abundance. Faith, trust, and obedience become the magnets for increase. This is why you may have noticed certain things lately. Some doors you expected to open are closing. Some people who seemed essential are drifting away. Some opportunities that looked promising disappear. Do not panic. God is clearing space. He is creating room for uncontrollable, effortless increase. He is preparing a pathway where blessings arrive naturally, without your stress, without your worry, without your frantic chasing. Your pennies begin multiplying because they are being invested in divine timing and unseen structures. Your tears become joy because the emotional cost is being redeemed. Your small beginnings become unstoppable momentum because God is orchestrating everything beyond human control. Here is the mysterious part. The harvest will often feel like it is arriving late. Like nothing is happening. Like your effort is wasted. But that silence? That quietness? It is the sound of God multiplying beyond your comprehension. The increase you are about to receive is permanent, unstoppable, and unexpected. And here's why it matters. You will begin to experience peace with progress. No more frantic chasing. No more sleepless nights over outcomes. No more fear that what you worked for will vanish. You will see that effort and panic are no longer the currency of increase. This is the ultimate lesson. Harvest that comes from God does not require constant struggle. It requires alignment, faith, and readiness to receive. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next chapter, it will reveal how to channel this effortless harvest into permanent wealth and lasting joy. Comment this specific word. Effortless. Reason. Because recognizing the shift from struggle to faith ensures your harvest continues to grow without unnecessary stress. Type part 8 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how God multiplies your blessings so rapidly that your life begins to feel miraculous yet perfectly natural. And why this is the ultimate stage of your harvest journey. Part 8, The Miraculous Multiplication, Why Your Harvest Will Feel Unbelievable Yet Natural. Do not scroll past this. This is the stage where your life begins to feel surreal. Where what you once prayed for feels like it is happening faster than you imagined. Where your small efforts now explode into results that seem impossible by human standards. God is activating miraculous multiplication. Notice how some things are changing. Opportunities you never expected are now lining up perfectly. Connections you overlooked suddenly become pivotal. Resources that seemed scarce are now appearing in abundance. This is the mysterious part of divine increase. It often arrives quietly, almost invisible at first. Then suddenly, it feels unstoppable. Your pennies are multiplying faster than you can count. Your tears are transforming into undeniable joy. Your small beginnings are now producing momentum you cannot ignore. Here is why most people fail at this stage. They panic when the increase feels too fast. They question the source of sudden blessings. They try to control what God is orchestrating. Do not do that. God's multiplication is not chaos. It is calculated. It is perfect. It is designed to produce lasting abundance. Every blessing you receive now is being placed in a system that ensures it will grow. It will protect itself. It will compound beyond what you could achieve alone. Your small sacrifices, your consistency, your tears, they were all seeds. And God is turning them into a forest of unstoppable growth. Some signs you may notice. Sudden opportunities that feel too good to be true. Unexpected financial support. Doors opening where there were walls before. Your joy increasing in ways that feel effortless. This is the harvest multiplying silently into miracle. And here is the most important principle. Do not waste energy on disbelief. Do not overthink the process. Do not seek validation for what God is already confirming. Your role is simple. Stay aligned. Receive with gratitude. Maintain faith. God is multiplying your blessings at a pace that exceeds human comprehension. And yet, it will feel natural. This is why you must subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Missing even one chapter risks losing the timing of the next revelation. Comment this specific word. Miracle. Reason. Because acknowledging God's miraculous multiplication trains your heart to receive increase without doubt or hesitation. Type part 9 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how to secure your harvest so that every blessing continues to compound for a lifetime. And why this is the ultimate stage where small beginnings turn into unstoppable prosperity. Part 9, The Compounding Harvest, How God Makes Every Blessing Multiply Forever. Stop everything and focus. You have reached the stage where your harvest is no longer just growth. It is compounding. Every penny, every tear, every ounce of effort you've invested is now producing results that multiply upon themselves. This is the secret most people never understand. God does not just give one-time increase. He builds systems that allow your blessings to grow exponentially, even when you are unaware. Your small beginnings are now producing momentum that cannot be stopped. What seemed slow is now unstoppable. What seemed insignificant is now monumental. Notice the signs. Doors open without effort. Opportunities arrive before you even ask. Connections appear exactly when needed. Your joy expands naturally as peace fills the gaps where worry once lived. This is how God compounds your harvest. Not through stress. Not through frantic effort. Not through manipulation. But through alignment, timing, and divine orchestration. Every tear you cried, every sacrifice you made, every moment you trusted when it felt impossible. They are the fertilizer for your compounding increase. Here's the crucial part. Compounding requires discipline. You must protect your harvest. You must honor the increase with gratitude. You must avoid rushing, overspending, or squandering what God is multiplying. Many people receive abundance and lose it because they treat it like luck instead of stewardship. Tonight, God is not giving you temporary blessings. He is giving you permanent systems of increase. Your pennies are multiplying silently. Your tears are producing joy beyond expectation. Your small actions are now launching a chain reaction of unstoppable results. And here's why it feels almost miraculous. Because human eyes cannot calculate exponential growth. Your mind cannot anticipate the scale. Your heart can only experience the joy of what God is orchestrating invisibly. The final lesson of this chapter. The harvest is yours to receive, but it requires awareness, faith, and alignment. Every blessing will compound, multiply, and protect itself if you stay connected to God's timing. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next chapter. This is where your life transforms completely. Comment this specific word. Compound. Reason. Because understanding God's compounding system trains you to steward your blessings and multiply them for a lifetime. Type part 10 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how to maintain unstoppable growth, protect your legacy, and ensure your blessings never fade. And why this stage is where small beginnings turn into permanent, life-changing abundance. Part 10, The Legacy Harvest, How God Makes Your Blessings Last Forever. Stop scrolling and focus carefully. You have reached the most critical stage of your harvest. Your blessings are no longer temporary. Your pennies have multiplied. Your tears have become joy. Your small efforts have transformed into unstoppable momentum. But here is the secret many never learn. A harvest without legacy is fleeting. Increase without preservation can vanish as quickly as it arrives. God is now showing you how to protect your blessings and make them permanent. This is the stage where your faith, your discipline, and your alignment with God determine whether your increase becomes eternal wealth or temporary comfort. Here's what is happening. Every opportunity, every resource, every connection that God has multiplied is being positioned to support long-term stability. Not just for you, but for your family. Not just for today, but for generations. Not just for small gains, but for unlimited abundance. Do you feel that weight of those words? This is the moment where your harvest stops being seasonal. It begins to compound through time, through legacy, through divine design. Notice the subtle signs. Your mind is clearer. Your decisions feel guided. Your confidence is unshakable. Doors open at the exact moment they are supposed to. People appear to guide, support, and uplift you in ways you could not orchestrate yourself. God is orchestrating everything so that your blessings not only arrive but stay, grow, and multiply. The principle is simple but profound. To maintain a permanent harvest, you must align your actions with God's guidance. Protect what has been given. And continue to trust the invisible mechanics of divine multiplication. You will face moments where you are tempted to doubt. Moments where fear tells you to spend recklessly or chase temporary pleasures. Moments where others question your faith or your choices. Do not waver. Those moments are tests of legacy. Every wise decision now ensures that the increase God has given you becomes unstoppable and sustainable. Your pennies will continue multiplying. Your joy will continue expanding. Your influence will continue growing. Your legacy will become a beacon for generations. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Missing even a single chapter risks losing the blueprint God has placed for your permanent abundance. Comment this specific word. Legacy. Reason. Because recognizing how to steward God's blessings ensures they remain permanent and continue to multiply for future generations. Type part 11 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how God transforms your entire life trajectory, making abundance, joy, and peace permanent fixtures. And why this is the final stage of your unstoppable harvest journey. Part 11, The Life-Transforming Harvest, How God Completely Rewrites Your Destiny. Stop everything and listen carefully. You have arrived at the stage where your harvest is no longer just about money, joy, or small victories. This is where God begins to transform your entire life trajectory. Where every area of struggle, limitation, and stagnation is rewritten. Tonight, God is declaring, your life will never be the same. Your past limitations are removed. Your future abundance is guaranteed. Your legacy is secured. Your joy will be unshakable. Your peace will be permanent. Do you feel that weight? That intensity? This is the moment where all the chapters you have lived, your patience, your tears, your small efforts, combine into unstoppable momentum. Notice the subtle but powerful signs. People align in your favor. Opportunities appear exactly when needed. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your confidence grows naturally. Doors you never thought possible are now opening without struggle. God's hand is at work. Not just creating abundance, but rearranging your entire destiny. Here is the secret most people never see. The final stage of harvest is complete transformation. It is when blessings no longer feel random. It is when prosperity, joy, peace, and alignment become your default state. It is when your life reflects God's orchestration so perfectly that miracles feel normal. Every penny you earned, every tear you shed, every small victory is now fueling permanent change. Your growth is no longer linear, it is exponential. Your blessings are no longer temporary, they are foundational. Your influence is no longer small, it radiates to everyone around you. The divine principle is simple. You cannot create this transformation alone. Human effort only prepares the soil. God multiplies, aligns, compounds, and secures the harvest. And here is the mysterious, miraculous part. This transformation happens quietly at first, then suddenly, your life feels unstoppable. You will notice doors opening, obstacles disappearing, and opportunities appearing in perfect timing. Your small beginnings will have exploded into a life of abundance, joy, and peace you never thought possible. Do not panic. Do not doubt. Do not attempt to control it. Your role now is to receive, trust, and align with every blessing. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the final revelation, it is the culmination of every chapter you have experienced so far. Comment this specific word. Transformation. Reason. Because understanding God's ultimate goal ensures you embrace the life-changing harvest He is orchestrating for you. Type part 12 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how to sustain your permanent transformation so abundance, joy, and peace never fade. And why this is the ultimate, unstoppable stage of your divine harvest. Part 12, The Unstoppable Harvest, How to Sustain Abundance, Joy, and Peace Forever. Stop everything and focus. You have arrived at the final stage of your divine harvest journey. This is no longer about short-term blessings. This is no longer about temporary wins or fleeting victories. This is about creating a life where abundance, joy, and peace are permanent, where God's blessings continue to multiply, compound, and sustain themselves forever. Tonight, God is declaring, your harvest will no longer fluctuate. Your increase will no longer be temporary. Your blessings will remain permanent. Your peace will never be disturbed. Your joy will never fade. Your legacy will endure for generations. Do you feel that energy? That certainty? This is the stage where all invisible work begins to show its full power. Notice the signs. Your thoughts are clear, aligned, and focused. Your decisions are guided effortlessly. Your opportunities are perfectly timed. Your relationships support your growth instead of draining you. Your finances multiply quietly but powerfully. This is the divine principle of sustainable increase. God does not just give blessings. He teaches you to steward them, protect them, and multiply them endlessly. Your pennies, your efforts, your patience, they are no longer one-time events. They are now part of a permanent system of compounding blessings. Here is how you sustain this harvest. Alignment with God, stay connected through faith, prayer, and obedience. Wisdom and stewardship, protect your blessings. Avoid reckless decisions. Invest, save, and multiply responsibly. Faith in the invisible, trust the timing, trust the process, trust that God's multiplication cannot fail. Gratitude in all circumstances, recognize every small increase as proof of divine orchestration. Consistency without stress, maintain your efforts where needed, but never force what God is naturally multiplying. The most powerful lesson tonight. Abundance is no longer dependent on your hustle. Joy is no longer dependent on circumstances. Peace is no longer dependent on other people. Everything now flows naturally because God is orchestrating your life. Your small beginnings have exploded into unstoppable, permanent, compounding blessings. Your tears have become joy that cannot be taken away. Your pennies have multiplied into abundance that is protected and guided. Your legacy is now eternal. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not skip this chapter, this is the final blueprint for your permanent, unstoppable harvest. Comment this specific word. Unstoppable. Reason. Because acknowledging God's orchestration ensures your blessings, joy, and peace continue to grow indefinitely, without fear of loss. Type "Harvest Complete" in the comments. This marks the final stage of your journey. From this point forward, your life is designed to multiply blessings effortlessly, remain aligned with God's will, and sustain abundance, joy, and peace for a lifetime. Every chapter you have read has led to this moment. The harvest is yours, fully prepared, permanent, and unstoppable. Your faith, your alignment, your trust, they are now the keys to eternal increase. This is your divine harvest. Receive it. Trust it. Live it. Part 13, The Divine Blueprint for Unstoppable Abundance, How God Ensures Your Harvest Never Fails. Stop everything and focus deeply. You have already received the increase, the joy, the peace, and the legacy. You have seen your pennies multiply, your tears turn into triumph, and your small efforts explode into unstoppable momentum. But God is not finished. He is now revealing the divine blueprint that makes your harvest unbreakable. A system so precise, so powerful, and so eternal, that your abundance will continue to grow regardless of external circumstances, human error, or worldly challenges. This is why some people never experience lasting success. They receive blessings but do not understand the structure behind them. They treat increase as luck, not as a system built by God. They allow distractions, doubts, or fear to interrupt the flow of their multiplication. God is now saying, your harvest will never fail because I am building the system. Your abundance is now protected, multiplied, and aligned with your destiny. Your life will follow a path I have ordained, one that ensures growth, joy, and peace cannot be reversed. Listen carefully. Every blessing you receive now has 3 divine safeguards. Multiplication, God compounds every small beginning into exponential growth. Protection, every increase is shielded from waste, mismanagement, and loss. Alignment, every opportunity, every connection, and every resource is perfectly orchestrated to match your purpose and destiny. This is why your harvest has been unstoppable so far. This is why your pennies keep multiplying quietly but powerfully. This is why your joy, your peace, and your legacy continue to expand beyond expectation. Do you see the pattern? It is not random. It is not luck. It is God's divine orchestration, and it is permanent. Here is how you ensure you remain in this flow. Faith without hesitation, trust every invisible movement of God. Stewardship without distraction, protect what has been given. Guard your time, energy, and resources. Gratitude without limits, acknowledge every small increase as evidence of divine orchestration. Alignment without compromise, ensure every decision, action, and relationship matches the flow of your harvest. The miraculous truth. Even when the world seems chaotic, your harvest cannot fail. Even when challenges appear, your blessings are protected. Even when others doubt or criticize, your increase continues in silence, guided by God's wisdom. This is the ultimate stage of divine multiplication. Effort is replaced by faith. Hustle is replaced by alignment. Fear is replaced by certainty. Chaos is replaced by divine orchestration. Your life now becomes a living testimony of God's power, wisdom, and generosity. Subscribe to this channel now and turn the bell icon on. Do not miss the next revelation, it will unlock the ultimate secret to maintaining unstoppable growth forever. Comment this specific word. Blueprint. Reason. Because understanding God's divine system ensures your blessings continue without interruption, permanently multiplying your harvest. Type part 14 in the comments. The next chapter will reveal how to activate continuous overflow, ensuring your harvest keeps expanding faster than ever. And why this is the key to living a life that reflects divine abundance in every area.